Hey guys, if you're seeing this part, you're catching the replay. We're going to talk about branding and your target market. I'm just going to give everyone a couple minutes to pop on, and then we will get started. Hey guys. Hi ladies. Hi guys. Hello. Okay, we're just going to give everyone a couple minutes to pop on. This is not going to be super long because this is something that you got, it's kind of like a workbook sort of activity. Like you'll have to do the work yourself. I won't be able to do that part for you, but I've seen some things recently and I think we need to review. Hey Kim, hey Emily, hey Nicole, hey Cheryl. Hey Samaris, long time. Tracy, Chastity, Priscilla, Ashley. I haven't seen an email yet from HQ, so I know you guys are probably all anxiously waiting for that. Victoria. Hey guys. Okay. We're gonna give just another minute. Just trying to find my lip gloss. Okay. Hi. All right, let's see who's on. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Jessica, Brandy, Sheena. No anxiety. It's all good. Okay, here's the deal. This should be a refresher for those of you guys that have been around for a little bit. Hopefully. For those of you guys that are newer, I think it's important to review. So, recently we were on a thread going back and forth, and I can't remember who, but I was talking with somebody about like what inventory to buy, and there was a comment about how we'll wait to see what the group decides. Okay, that reminded me that we needed to talk about this. Okay, so hey Carrie, here's the deal. You have, sorry guys, I woke up and started working and I didn't have time to get camera ready for you guys. So here's the deal. Okay, you guys are in control of your branding and your target market. And if you don't know what your target market is, and you're not branding and purchasing for your target market, you're in a lot of trouble. Okay, a lot of trouble. You're gonna have a really difficult time selling in larger quantities, and like maintaining your sanity, because you're always going to feel like you're grasping at straws, and you're never going to really understand like the rhyme or reason behind why things are selling and why they're not selling. So this is really, really, really important. And it's not something that develops over time. Like it can evolve, but it doesn't develop. Like you should know your target market from day one. So just as an example, because that's all I have to go off of, for me, hey Jill, when I started, I knew that my target market was other company shoppers. Hey boo, long time. So I knew, because I had been waiting in the queue for a different company, that was who I was targeting, that market. So I purchased pieces that were lower price point, but that were comparable to what that company had, because I could offer my customers something a style that they were already familiar with, but at a better value, and I believed a better quality. So I knew that was like my hook. It also determined where I sold, because I knew where and how those customers were used to buying. So that's how I marketed to them. I marketed to them in the exact same way they were used to being marketed to, because I knew that the familiarity would breed an easier sale for me. So all of those things were intentional. It wasn't like, well, I'm going to wait to see if my group likes pencil skirts. No. I bought pencil skirts because I knew that our pencil skirts were a better value than pencil skirts that they were used to, and they were a higher quality item. Same thing with leggings. I knew we had a better product at a lower price point, and that's who I was marketing to. So the first thing that you need to figure out is who your target market is. So if you're coming from the other company, your target market is the other company. Okay? If you're not coming from the other company, your target market is going to be basically somebody just like you. Somebody about your same age, with about your same income, with about your same family status, probably in the same general, maybe not like your hometown, but in the same general region, wherever you're like kind of from. If you're sort of like from the Northeast, that's kind of where people are going to be from. Because your friends are going to introduce them to their friends and so forth. So even though you'll have customers all over, your general region is going to be the region that you're going to be most attracted to you. Quality come over while online. How do we get the quality to come over while online showing stuff? You're going to tell them, Stephanie, over and over and over again. They can't see it. You have to tell them to say it to them. So first, figure out who your target market is, okay? Because we've said this a million times. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. It's not going to work. If you're trying to be like Walmart and selling to every single woman shopper, it's not going to work. It's not going to be effective, okay? You need to know who your market is. So first, establish who your market is. Once you establish who your market is, then you can establish what kinds of things your market would be buying. So if you're mostly working with stay-at-home moms, probably not going to be buying a lot of skirts. Probably not. Probably not going to be buying a lot of ball skirts or Spencer's or things like that. Probably going to be buying more like everyday kind of comfort items. If your target market is a woman that works in an office, probably not going to be buying a lot of pattern leggings, right? Things like that. So once you know who your target market is, then you can purchase appropriately for your target market. It won't ever work to buy a bunch of items that have nothing to do with your target market and then see if your people buy stuff. Like, you have to purchase inventory with intentionality, or you won't see the sales that you want to see. So any store, any retail store operates this like this. Target, Gap, Ann Taylor, Banana Republic, Anthropologie, all of these stores. If you were to go online and look at their online catalog, or go to a store, if you still have a store around you that's open, and walk through it, they are marketing and speaking to a specific customer. So it's really important. Yes, you can expand your target market over time, and you can develop. Like, you can certainly speak to a certain market. So if you want to be speaking to women that are working, you can certainly carry product that speaks to that market, but you want to start at who your base customers are first. If you don't have a lot of women that are working in an office situation, and you have a lot of stay-at-home moms, and you try to buy clothing to support somebody that's going into the office, it's probably not going to work. You're probably not going to see a lot of benefit. Hey, Miss Kelly. So the second thing that I'm seeing kind of as a result of this is just making inventory purchases that aren't planned out as far as the rest of your inventory goes. So I work with, okay, Erin and I have talked about this. Erin and I have talked about this before. I work with a modest group that wears skirts all the time, but they don't buy my skirts. Why do you think, and how can I get them engaged? Erin, do you have a good selection of skirts, and are you constantly, I would not ever poll my group. I would not. I don't recommend polling your group. There's a lot of problems with polling a group. Erin, do you have a good selection of skirts? Are you offering them the kinds of skirts that they would want to buy, and are you showing them to them enough with different choices? And are you also showing them the value? Because yeah, I would not ever poll your group. There's a few issues. There's a few issues with polling your group. Issue number one is time and time again, the polls are incorrect. They will tell you, I just talked to someone last week and they said, I don't do live sales because my group said that they don't like live sales. Okay. With the exception of one person in the company, 2 people. So out of 3,000 reps, with the exception of 2 reps, I don't know any other reps that have over $10,000 in sales that aren't selling online, that aren't selling live. So if you want to be selling at a higher volume, you definitely need to be integrating live. It doesn't matter what your group says. Number 2, who's seeing that post? That's the problem. Like, the only people that are responding to the poll are people that are seeing the post, and then not even just people that are seeing the post, like it's a certain type of person that's responding to the poll. So you're not getting good feedback. You're not getting a good sample. If you did an email survey and you were able to email every single person the survey, it would be a little bit better, but I still wouldn't recommend it. I still would not recommend it. Yeah, sometimes I will tell you, skirts in general, I find to be a very difficult sell, even for a group that likes skirts. And you do kind of have to have a really good selection and just kind of show them all the time. Anytime you do outfits, it's a skirt outfit over and over and over again. So before anybody's, if your sales aren't where you want them to be, before we make any further inventory purchases, I want you to be able to tell me or tell your referring rep, or sit down with your business plan or whatever, and I want you to be able to write down what your target market is. You should be able to pinpoint that target market fairly closely. What the age range is, where they if they work, where they work, if they have children, what their lifestyle is like. Because you're not going to be able to purchase clothing for your group if you don't know the answers to these questions. Okay, I'm sorry to utilize email list. How frequently do you think we should be contacting our customers via email? It depends what you have to say, Ashley, what your purpose is for emailing them. If you're looking to drive sales, then you could send them a weekly email before a really big sale you have every week, or a bi-monthly newsletter before every sale. Otherwise, I would be doing it once a month. Jill and I were just talking about this. Sometimes we have to let go of what we want to be selling and acknowledge what our group is actually interested in. My group, how they like to shop. No one wanted live, so I stopped selling that way for a while. Sold nothing, switched back to lives, and I'm doing well again. Yep. It's not even that they don't know what they want, which is true. It's more that who's answering, who's responding to that. So Stephanie, like, how many dolmens do you have? Like, do you have a selection of dolmens? And also you have to look at the time of year and how you're showing them. Like, are they just sitting on your party site and people aren't going to the link and buying them? Like, are you actually, like, are you actively selling them live? Are you doing, like, what are you doing to sell them? It's right now. I like to tell me the group one. Ask. I think what's important is I think it's important to be flexible, and it's important to be willing to try something for long enough to see if it actually is effective or if it's not. Because trying something just one time isn't long enough to see if it's effective. You have to try it more than that. But if you're trying something, if you've given it the good college try and you're 3 or 4 weeks in and you're not seeing any action in that area, it's time to move on to something else. Really effective, and I'm going to tell you it's because there's an entire company that has trained their shoppers to shop album sales. So they can be very effective, but they have to be done consistently. They have to be done on a schedule. The group has to know to expect them. You have to promote them. And all of that stuff takes a lot of work. I'm going to tell you what, promoting and getting ready for an album sale is way more work than turning on a live, in my personal opinion. Now, if for some reason you're not able to or you can't do lives, then you have to get creative. Well, you wouldn't be able to try on every single outfit, Alyssa. So you wouldn't need to put on every outfit. I would have on an outfit, yeah, for reals. So I would have on an outfit, one of the outfits that I was selling, like a piece that I was selling. But if I'm gonna do outfits, for the most part, I'm gonna do a theme, like a skirt and a top and like a layering piece. So I'm going to have one of those outfits on, and I'm going to hold each outfit up. I'm going to briefly describe it, and then I'm going to let them claim by the piece or claim by the outfit. And he has, even if you don't carry it yourself. So you don't want your okay. So Stephanie, you don't want your customers to know about Agnes and Dora styles if you're not going to carry them, babe. Okay? Because you're going to push your customers to other reps, and that's not something that we want to do. That is not, yeah, you don't want to do that. That's not a great business plan at all. There's going to be shoppers that seek out other Agnes and Dora reps, and they're going to buy from multiple people, and you can't stop that from happening, but you don't want to push them over there. We want to be keeping our own customers loyal. It's not ever going to work for us all to just open up floodgates and just start sharing customers back and forth. That's not the plan for the company, and that's not going to be something that's going to work for the future. So make sure I don't do that times a month, because yeah, see, Chastity, and I think that Chastity's smart to understand that she does have a market of people that is used to and that enjoy shopping albums, so she's hitting that market. And I know and there are ways to make them less obnoxious, but it's just one avenue of selling. It's not the only way. Miss Hannah says, I have a live sale, and then after the sale I take a picture of me and the item and post what didn't sell. Yep, Hannah, that's a great idea. Anytime that you can take a picture of yourself in the item, it's going to be significantly more compelling for someone to purchase that than a stock photo. It doesn't matter how amazing the company makes the stock photos. Your customers want to see you in the item. They have an idea of your body shape, your body size. They've kind of compared themselves to you and said, okay, I'm a little bit taller, I'm a little bit shorter, I'm whatever. So they want to see you in the item. They don't want to see a stock photo. Anybody? Yeah, always. That's always going to happen. Have any questions about finding their target market and branding? When I say branding, we all have to adhere to the Agnes and Dora brand standards, but then we all should have our own like brand inside of the brand. So the overall brand is Agnes and Dora, but then Jill has her own brand, I have my own brand, Andrea has her brand, Erin has her brand. We all have to have like our own flavor. So if somebody sees something pop up on their newsfeed that's about an essential cardigan, if it's from Jill, you can't miss that it's from Jill because she's taken a picture of herself in it. She has a certain style that she takes her pictures in. But for some people, if I see something pop up that's Agnes and Dora, I can't tell by looking at the picture who it's from. It could be from anybody. It could be from 10 different people. It could be from 20 different people because it's the same stock photo and just like some verbiage. So it's important, that's what I'm talking about when I say branding, is when someone sees a picture for your business pop up, they should know right away that it's from you. It should have your image on it someplace or some kind of branding on it that people understand and know. Cost conservative. So Erin, what I would do is I would just do, I started doing a Thrifty Thursday. So on Thursdays I do a live sale, and I only do my value pieces. So items that are under $40, and then I did include dusters just because the other company's dusters are $70. So they think the perceived value is that our dusters are an excellent value. So I started doing just a Thrifty Thursday. It went really well last Thursday. I sold actually quite a few skirts because they're such a great price, and I think that for the shoppers that want to be sticking to a budget or need to be sticking to a budget, you know, something like that can definitely help. Eyes on my stuff. It's time for hostesses. If you don't have enough new eyes, you need to increase your group, or you need to get some hostesses in there. I just want you to just remember the saying, if you try to talk to everyone, you're going to talk to nobody, okay? You don't need, none of us, okay, Jill and I were just talking this morning, and we were like, both like, oh my gosh, you're so busy, I'm so busy. Nobody can handle all the customers, you guys, okay? Nobody can handle all the customers. Jill has a staff of people. I have people. Like, it takes a lot of work to manage a certain amount of retail sales every month. If you guys all quit the company and you left me with your customers, I would be screwed. I would literally not be able to service that many customers. Like, I would have to, 10 people wouldn't be enough people to help me manage that level of customers. So you don't want all the customers. You just want your customers. You want people that are attracted to you, attracted to your personality, have a similar-ish schedule, or that you've been able to accommodate their schedule. So if you're working with women that work, if you're offering shopping times that are convenient to them since they are in the office, like maybe on the weekends or later in the evening or lunch times, things like that. If you're working with stay-at-home moms, if you're offering them shopping times like nap time, or like when they're getting the kids dinner, like that was always times that I shopped when I was making the kids dinner. They were sitting at the table doing homework and stuff before I was selling myself. That's what you need to focus on. Don't worry about the customers that aren't attracted to that. Like, you're going to have, I promise, if you get this target market thing down, you're going to have more customers than you know what to do with. Okay? I promise you. There's so many great ideas on like following up and driving sales and like driving business from existing customers that I can't even implement because I'm too busy. So like, don't worry about all those other people, just worry about finding your market. Or never. I mean, I use stock photos a lot in my newsletters, and I'll tell you, I guarantee you if I use pictures of myself or pictures I took, I guarantee you my newsletters get way more clicks, like way more, for sure. Think about a good deal. Yes, exactly. So instead of focusing on how much they're spending, you want to focus on the value attached to the piece. So we're not, according to the PMP, we're not allowed to like openly compare the product. So you can't say LuLaRoe's duster's 70 and our duster's 48. But what you can say is, hey, I know some of you guys have probably seen other people selling dusters for a lot more money. 48, you guys all know 48 is such a great price for a sweater duster. So you can say that. And I think there's a lot of you guys that probably need help that haven't gotten help yet, as far as like some assistance and stuff goes. And I want to just tell you, like, don't be scared of getting help. Like, it should help you drive your sales even higher. I have no idea, Sherry. I'm not in charge of the email campaigns or anything for HQ. I don't know. I will find out when you guys do. Stephanie, you know what? That's brilliant. That's a brilliant campaign, for sure. I've been saying this for more than a year. None of us can handle all the customers, okay? If you do this target market thing right, like, you're going to have more than enough customers. More than enough. Take 30 minutes, put together a newsletter campaign. Once you get the newsletter campaign down, it shouldn't be that difficult to change it up from month to month. It shouldn't be that difficult to find your target market. It's going to be somebody that basically looks a lot like you, about your same age, about your same, you know, demographic. If you have kids, they're most likely going to have kids. If you're working, they're probably working also. So if you market to yourself, you're going to be right along the right track. Target market thing, seriously, like market to yourself. Like what would be attractive to you? Like what pieces do you wear on a regular basis? What pieces would you be attracted to? What pieces did you buy before you joined the company? Like look at, if you market to yourself, you're going to be in really good shape. Sell to yourself, you guys. Sell to yourself. Jill does a really good job with this. She takes a picture of herself in the outfit and then she does a flat lay with the pieces. And that combination has been really successful for her. Okay, who has questions? I can't stay on super long today because I have a lot going on and I have a few people that are waiting on things for me. Some of you guys are watching live, so you know who you are. So I need to go get that stuff done. Plus, I can't help you with the target market thing. It's something you have to look at. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, whoever you are, that's who your people are. You will probably have like a subcategory. I tend to also notice that I attract, I also notice that I tend to attract like grandmothers that like can relate to me as like being like as I'm their daughter. I've noticed that tends to, I also tend to seem to attract that group too. So you'll probably develop like a subset of your original market, but don't worry about that. Like you'll kind of figure that out as you go along. A couple seconds. Hey Chastity, you're welcome. I'm pretty excited for you guys to get that email later today. Hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. I market my own demographic, mid-20s, trendy, somewhat boho vibe. My main shoppers have all been middle-aged working moms. Maybe I'm not marketing the way I thought I am. Okay, so Alicia, I think, what are you doing? Where are you in sales? Meaning, like, are you in the range you want to be in, or are you not in the range you want to be in? Other thing too is that it's okay if like the people that are buying from you might not be exactly, they're not going to be exactly like you, but they're attracted to that. So a working mom is going to be somebody that needs to have clothes to be able to go out in the working force, and they are also going to be okay. So yeah, you're not getting it. We're not getting that market right yet. So I think what I would do is I think that I would look at where it is that you're getting those people from in your group, because your group is going to help you build your group. So if you have people that fit your target market in your group, their friends and the people that they know are going to be the other people that add people to your group. So you need to kind of get the right people in there. So you want to look at where it is that you've been targeting the people to get into your group and how you've been getting those people. I would probably get with some of your friends, and I would probably start doing some hostess parties to get some new people into that group, because I don't think that you have the group that you want to have yet. Welcome. Anyone else has any other questions on this topic, comment in this feed here and then tag me. That way I see it. I will check back in with you guys a little bit later, and we're going to do a follow-up for this. I'm going to, there's already a post on branding and your target market in this group, but I'm going to bump it to the top. Yeah, you can see that on your business page. I don't know that it should be in your group also under insights. It's an okay place to start. It's an okay place to start, but a lot of you don't have groups that are necessarily supporting the business the way that you want it to be. Like, you can look at who's in your group, but then you also want to make sure that you're looking at growing your group with the people that really are your target market. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Gap, for example, Gap has their brand and they're marketing towards their target market, and they're waiting for that target market to come to them. And they're marketing where those people are. If Gap started marketing where Target marketed, they would get a whole bunch of Walmart people coming into their store, but they wouldn't see an increase in sales because they marketed to the wrong people. Do you see what I'm saying? So just because someone's in your group doesn't mean, like, that's why some people feel like their group is dead. It's because they have the wrong people in their group. Really difficult for you to market to the wrong people in your group because you're not going to speak the same language as them. It's almost like if you had a group filled with Spanish speakers and you just started posting in German. Like, it's not going to translate. It doesn't matter, like, what you say. Like, they're not going to hear it. When it comes to hosting, what you need to do is you honestly just need to ask the first couple people. That's right, Erin. You just, like, when it comes to hostessing, the way to get the hostess snowball going is, like, you're just going to have to ask for some favors. Like, you have to go to some girlfriends or, like, a couple family members and just ask them to do you a favor. Hey, I need you to do me a favor to start a business. Can you please be my hostess guinea pig? Like, that's how that works. You use your warm market to get to your cold market. It will fit in the same, not everyone's going to fit in your demographic. There's plenty of people that shop with me that don't necessarily fit in my target demographic, but they're attracted to, like, my personality, or they're attracted to some other thing that I offer. That's fine. Not everyone's going to be exactly a cookie cutter of what you're sort of looking at, but you want to be speaking to a certain person, because if you're not, it really isn't going to translate. I am going to, so Stephanie, if the place to start is by talking to yourself, if you start by marketing to yourself what you would want to see, how you would want to see it done, and the clothing that you would want to buy, then that's going to be a good place to start. I know. I think if I some of your groups are so cute, but I think if I started posting pictures like that in my group would, like, think that somebody, like, kidnapped me. There's no way you have a terrible personality. Nobody has a terrible personality. Everybody has a unique personality, but there's lots of people. It's just like in high school, and there's, like, different cliques of people. So you need to find your group. Did you ever, did any of you guys, some of you guys must have had some bad high school experiences. They probably stem from you trying to be in the wrong group of people. Like, you got to find your little group. Once you find your little group, you're going to be all good. Okay, I'm going to go so that I can bump the posts that are about finding your target market and branding to the top. It's work. You definitely need to look at how it is your, I pretend I'm a young mom. So funny. So, sometimes just being honest too with your group, like, just being like my referring rep, like, I think she does a really good job of, like, just kind of, like, sometimes being a little bit of a hot mess, like, and she just tells her group, like, hey, I just had twins, I'm a little bit of a hot mess, but they love it. So, like, she's relatable though, like, people find that very relatable. Like, they totally can, like, remember, like, when they, like, woke up late and none of the kids got to school on time, So I think that just being honest with your group too, and, like, showing them a little bit about, like, your personality flaws can also kind of help endear people to you a little bit. All right, I'm going to go so I can bump those posts. This is going to take a little bit of work. I would not recommend making any large inventory purchases until you have a good idea of your target market. So go through these worksheets and this little, like, branding help that I'm going to post in the group in just a second. Read through that, and then if you have any questions about anything, if you're not sure, comment with your question and tag your referring rep or tag me or tag somebody else in the group so that we see it and can answer it to you. Definitely. Okay, guys, I am going to hop off so I can I can bump that stuff to the wall, and I will check back in with your questions after I finish some other things today. Okay, guys, I will catch up with you later. Bye.